So I'm going to showcase a couple trades to start off this episode. One is a David West and George Hill package. We can pick up a Marius Stoudemire's expiring. We used the West asset to unload the George Hill contract. And I think we can also maybe try to pick up a guy like Amon Shumpert, maybe a buy low option. I don't think the Knicks are going to re-sign Shumpert anyway, so they might be willing to give him to us for giving him David West. And also you can see CJ Watson and Jan Mahimny, a couple expendable bench pieces we think we can give up to Portland for a couple first-round picks. I would certainly do that if I can. So let me know what you think of that, and let's kick it to Ernie and Shaq.
Presented by Sprite, the 2K Sports pregame show.
I can't express how good it is to have you with us here on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, we'll be watching the Los Angeles Clippers playing against the Indiana Pacers. For Indiana, they've got an opportunity tonight to sweep the season series 2 wins to none. The coaching staff commented that they feel confident coming into this one. Shaq, I know the Clippers don't want to be referred to as Lob City anymore. Defensively, are they an underrated team?
Yes, they're severely underrated defensively. They can bother teams with their pressure. That was their problem before Doc Rivers came. They weren't a good defensive player, but they've listened to Doc Rivers. They become an impressive defensive team, and they match up well with any team in the NBA.
Almost time to tip it off. Let's get it to Kevin Harlan.
Alright, so we are in Los Angeles, California at the Staples Center. Indiana Pacers, I almost said the Indiana Clippers. Indiana Pacers facing off against the Los Angeles Clippers, both wearing a couple of alternate jerseys. I do like one thing 2K's done over the years is really included a lot of jerseys for a lot of teams. And it's just fun to mix and match sometimes. If you play with one team over and over again, it can kind of get boring to look at, so it was always fun to have a team with many jersey combinations, something we didn't really have with the Celtics last year, but that we do have with the Pacers this year. So 14-10 early on here, George Hill with the ball, and he's going to get a little screen and roll here with Jan Mahimny going. Now DeAndre Jordan doesn't know what he's doing, so Blake Griffin's going to try to help, but this is going to leave Luis Scola wide open for the baseline mid-range. Griffin tried to come over and get a close on Scola, but it was not enough, and Scola's a very good mid-range shooter. So he gets that to go, and yes, I'm going to be trying to bring back some of those freeze frames that I used to do on the old 2K videos. That was a pretty basic one, but I think I have another basic one later on in this episode. But anyway, I thought I would include those again. So there we go, 22-14. We're down by 6. Donald Sloan hits CJ Watson here, down low to Damon Rudez, and Rudez is going to drive the basket and flip that one up with the left hand. Good to go. So here is JJ Redick coming off the screen. He hits the little mid-range jumper right there. Redick, a phenomenal shooter, and they're up by 4 once again. Late shot, no good, and that's going to end off the first quarter. So I did switch it down to 10-minute quarters this time around. And I think next game I'm going to try 11, and I think 11 is going to be that happy medium that I've been searching for, because 10 turned out to be a little too low for me at least. But anyway, CJ Miles with a little hook shot right there. Not something you see too much out of a guy like that, but here's CJ Watson going on a screen and roll. He actually hits a sweet bounce pass, and then the extra pass to Lavoy Allen for the jumper's no good, but Hibbert's there on the offensive rebound. So some good ball movement from this team. This is a team that, was not a good offensive team with Lance Stevenson and Paul George, who were probably their 2 best offensive players last season. And now that one of them is hurt and the other is in Charlotte, it's going to take some sort of manufacturing of good looks, and what that is going to require is a lot of ball movement from this team. So that is something we're going to have to work on throughout the year. But in case you guys did not notice at the beginning of the screen, or the beginning of the episode on one of the screens, it did say we are 10-15 heading into this game. And we have treaded water a little bit here after that rough 0-4 start. And here's another one of those. This is just a simple example of a hedge on a pick and roll. This leaves Crawford wide open. If you actually go back to the freeze frame, I think it was Griffin or maybe JJ Redick was actually leaving. I think it was Rodney Stuckey. So it must have been JJ Redick. Was actually noticing the hedge and coming over to help on Hibbert. But so I could have hit Rodney Stuckey for the open 3 there. But I went with the easy look Hibbert. I was looking at him all the way. And that was a pretty good example of what a hedge is on a pick and roll and how to exploit that. But here's CJ Miles in the corner for 3. The Clippers open up a bit of a 7-point lead right there. And we were trying to close it back down. Now it's a 4-point game, hitting David West, cutting in. He takes a little pull-up, like 8-foot jump shot there and gets it to go. Now 41-39 is the score. Here's Jamal Crawford coming in, and we had a tough time stopping Jamal Crawford all game long. We don't have very many good perimeter defenders on this team. In fact, I would go as far as to say we don't really have any good perimeter defenders on this team. And stopping a guy like Jamal Crawford proved to be pretty difficult, but George Hill there, maybe a guy you can consider a good perimeter defender, but not really one who can cover a guy who's, I don't know, 3-4 inches taller than him. he gets a little fast break dunk there, and we actually tied the score at the end of the second quarter. So we are hanging in there with a pretty good Los Angeles Clippers team. They enter this game at, I think, 16-8, so they are off to a pretty quick start in this my league at least. But here's the halftime report. You can see we're keeping up with the field goals there, something I usually struggle with. If you had watched previous associations or my leagues or whatever, you would know that I often sometimes, especially with mediocre offensive teams, turn the ball over too much trying to force things in there and end up just taking less shots than the other team. When you take less shots than the other team, you're probably going to make less, and you're probably going to lose the game. So that's something we always like to keep an eye on here. But we're up by 4 now. We're open up at a little bit of a lead. Here's Rodney Stuckey on the perimeter. Just drives right by Jamal Crawford and makes the contact layup and gets that one to go. So it's a 6-point game now. Jordan Farmar with the ball. Former UCLA product and former Los Angeles Laker hitting the pull-up. He does have a long history of basketball in the city of Los Angeles, but 55-51 now. Here is our man Donald Sloan driving and kicking to Chris Copeland. Copeland's man helped off of him, and that left him wide open in the corner for a 3. Here we try to force the pass in there. Watson dribbles it back out, down low to Copeland, who gets the tough little acrobatic shot there, and we are up by 9 right now, so opening up a bit of a lead, going on a nice little run here. Jordan Farmar, though, with the ball, coming around the screen, pulling up for the jumper, and there's one thing that Jordan Farmar can do, and it is shoot the lights out, so he does it right there. Now, 7-point game. Sloan, though, getting by the entire Los Angeles Clippers defense, both out to exterior and interior, but 62-55, now 7-point game. Matt Barnes, who, if you notice, I didn't really touch on it, but he had a big first quarter, and he was having a big game so far. He knocks down the 3. Now it's down to a 2-point game, but we're going to hit Sloan there on the fast break, and really Sloan should have gone to the corner for a 3. Instead, he settles for the long 2, and it's going to be a 4-point game. Now Glenn Big Baby Davis with the jumper. That's one thing Davis can do. He can hit that little 15-foot jump shot sling he developed when he was with the Celtics. And now Damon Rudez, I, again, don't really know if I'm pronouncing that right, but he gets the fast break slam. So a little back and forth here. Clippers closed it to about a 2-point game, and then here, this was pretty much a backbreaker. JJ Redick pull-up jumper to end off the third quarter. That would tie up the game and really seize the momentum. And we're going to have to try and recover here as the start of the fourth. We really looked like we were going to pull away there for a moment, but the Clippers fought back. You know, a home team down like that is going to make a run. So here comes the Clippers now. They are still tied, but they take a 2-point lead there on the Redick pull-up. Now still a 2-point game. Chris Paul running the fast break, and he's actually going to stop in the middle here. He knows what he's doing this whole time. DeAndre Jordan to the basket for a 360 alley-oop slam. Now a 4-point game. Once again, we don't get anything going on offense, and on the other end of the floor, the Clippers' offensive talent just proves to be too much sometimes. Jamal Crawford wide open for 3 right there, and we could not really do anything about that. Just because, you know, this team is not good, and you're going to give up plays like that when you're facing a pretty good offensive team. So anyway, we're down by 9 here, and our fourth quarter scoring is proving to be one of the biggest problems with this team. A lot of the times when you don't have a guy who's a elite offensive scorer, you struggle in the fourth quarter to get points when defenses tend to lock down and sort of try to play their best defense of the game. So and when your other guys get tired on offense and the fatigue sets in. So 8-point game here. Roy Hibbert pick and roll. We actually get it down low to him, and we cut it back down to 6. So we're still trying to stay in this game here, but only 2.5 minutes to play, and that's going to be nice ball movement right there. Chris Paul lobbing it up to Blake Griffin, and those lobs in this game are pretty unstoppable. When they make the right pass and when they make an accurate pass, there's not a lot you can do. Paul had a couple turnovers early on because he was trying to do that too much, but late in the game he got it going with his 2 bigs, and now it's a 10-point game. He'll try to get something going. He actually finds Chris Copeland here, and Copeland's going to knock down what turned out to be a long 2. He really could have used the 3 right there. Instead, he had his foot on the line, so it's an 8-point game once again, and then Paul getting right by George Hill, putting it back up by 10, and Chris Paul is one of those lethal fourth quarter scorers, and he really put this game to sleep as it went on. Now you can see under 24 seconds to play, we get a nice little layup with Jan Mahimni there, but that was all she wrote. We end up losing 93-85. We struggled in the fourth quarter, only put up 17 points, I think, and the Clippers outscored us by 7, so that was really all we could, that was really the story of the game right there. We played really well for 3 quarters and just could not get it done in the fourth. So I would say there's some positives to take away, though. I mean, we competed with a pretty good team, and, maybe this team, we're 10-16 now, but we're not 7-23, so, the math doesn't add up, but, we are doing better than I thought we were going to do, so maybe there's hope for this team competing for a playoff spot, and if that opportunity presents itself, I don't think I would shy away from it. But we'll see. There's a lot of, and that's the thing I like about this team, is there's a lot of ways we can go, and don't really know what we're going to do for right now. But anyway, that's pretty much going to do. You can take a look at the box scores here. I didn't really point anything out, but yeah, that's going to do it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy. Episode 4 will hopefully be out tomorrow, as well as I think I'm going to do a little OOTP update / channel update because I've been getting a lot of requests for that. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you did enjoy, and I'm out. Peace.